Hey there, folks. Right. Just a second. Ah, much better. Today, I'm going to do a tardy review of the movie Kick-Ass. It came out in 2010, and it's 2013, so technically I'm only 3 years late, but the fact that the sequel is now in the box office kind of makes it seem tardier than that, doesn't it? Anyhow, here's my thoughts. Overall, I thought it was a fun movie, but pretty predictable in most of it. I saw pretty much every plot move coming. Now, I'm 40 years old, and media saturated, and ergo sort of jaded and cynical, and I see a lot of stuff coming. So that doesn't mean it's a bad movie. It just means that for me, there weren't exactly a lot of surprises. On the other hand, it's definitely not your generic punch-it-out movie. There's a lot of good dialogue, there's a lot of good costuming, there's a lot of good music, actually. A lot of good current music in that. I particularly liked there was a Prodigy song with an amazing hook called Stand Up, and a very good Gnarls Barkley song, Crazy, one I'm particularly fond of. I like the movie. I want to make that clear. It's a thumbs up for me. It's just not a 2 thumbs up, shall we say. That said, I can really see this movie being huge for the kids today. The ones that were the right age in 2010. And the ones that are presumably going to flock to the sequel. It has very deep hooks in it for kids. And by kids I mean teenagers and young adults. And I can see this being an epoch-making movie for them. I can see that being very inspiring and giving them hope and giving them the feeling that they're not alone or that they can do something about the world. All the things that kids need. So, for them, I'm sure it's fucking amazing. There was one thing, way back when, may he rest in peace, Roger Ebert was still with us. He reviewed this movie, and he said that it really bothered him to see this 11-year-old girl, aka Hit Girl, being so violent. And that made it impossible for him to accept the movie. And at the time, not having seen the movie, I thought, well, that's kind of an old fart way of looking at it. I'm a little disappointed in Mr. Ebert at that point, actually. But now that I've seen the movie, I really get his point. Because she's not just violent. She's straight up fucking killing people. She is murdering people, like, with swords and knives and guns, and not just like beating them up in the sort of cartoon physics superhero world where, you hit someone various ways and then they fall over and then the cops get them or whatever. No, she is violently murdering them in cold blood, in a fairly graphic way, actually. So, I was surprised to find out that bugs me too. It doesn't make me reject the movie like it did with Roger Ebert, but I can see his point. It's especially jarring because the movie starts off at a certain sort of level of superhero reality, and that's basically the one I was talking about, fists, clubs, knives at most. Then when Hit Girl shows up, when she makes her debut, it suddenly leaps into a much higher level of violence. And so, it's kind of jarring, actually. Again, doesn't make me reject the movie, but it was a bit disturbing, I gotta admit. I must say, Nicolas Cage was fun as Big Daddy, Hit Girl's dad and fellow psycho. And it's nice to see him do comedy and not pretend to be Elvis or any of his other more high energy stuff that makes him the subject of ridicule all over the internet. he is a talented comedic actor. He just keeps taking roles that are just stupid, frankly. Ghost Rider, really? You can't pull that off. I guess that pretty much sums up my opinion. It's a good movie with an awesome soundtrack, great costumes, totally top level cinematography, etc. If you're at least if you're as old as me, beware that you will see an 11-year-old child murdering grown men violently, and that will shock you, even if you think it doesn't. And if you're my age, you'll probably see all the plot turns coming because you're jaded by now, but that doesn't mean it can't be a fun little flick. That's my review of Kick-Ass. Talk to you tomorrow.